It's Charter Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance, and we are joined today by Jen Marx. She is the mayor of the city of San Luis Obispo, where we are today. And I'd like to speak with you about an oil refinery in the southern portion of San Luis Obispo County. It's operating today. It's operated by Phillips 66. We know that name, iconic name. Tell us about the oil refinery today.
Well, today they have, or actually a couple of months ago, they applied for an expansion in order to accommodate up to 6 trains bearing crude oil from Alberta and Montana and elsewhere. And each of these trains would be about a mile long. The railroad track goes right through the city of San Luis Obispo. So our city council is very concerned, and we are asking the San Luis Obispo County Planning Commission and the Board of Supervisors to deny the project. Our county is the only entity that has any power or authority at all over the expansion of this project.
And as I understand it, the reason why there is authority on this question is existing rail lines could not be used. They would need to build additional rail lines, a spur as they call it.
Yeah, actually I think there's 6 of them.
Okay.
And yes, in order to accommodate the expansion, they would have to have more rail space where they can kind of park these oil tankers full of oil and then empty them out and refine the oil.
But couldn't one argue that this could be a tremendous economic driver? That if we do bring in these additional oil tankers, more jobs will be created. It will make us less oil dependent, meaning on foreign oil, on oil from other places. What's your sense?
I'm sure those arguments are being made. However, the health, safety, and welfare of the people who live in San Luis Obispo is more important than the...
So why do you believe, for example, that there is a health issue, a safety issue? And I must say, it's interesting, the League of California Cities recently issued an article in their Western City magazine talking about this very issue, a growing risk oil trains raise safety and environmental concerns.
That's right.
So tell me about this article and how it came to your attention and how the issue of safety concerns came to your attention.
Well, it came to my attention first through residents, but then I attended the annual convention of the League of California Cities, and there was a hot issues seminar on this very issue, and I went, and the room was just crowded with elected officials from all over the state. Everywhere there is railroad going through the heart of a city, you've got very concerned elected officials and residents, because the if one of these cars derails and explodes, it's about a half a mile in each direction from the track that there would be a fireball.
And let's talk about that. We know that in the last century, the end of the last century, there was a major train derailment in San Luis Obispo County. This is an article from 1989. And lately, we've heard a lot about train derailments.
Right.
There was one in Canada. There was one in West Virginia. These are all in the last couple of years.
Right.
I know in Oxnard there was an incident recently. Now that was not oil related, but a train incident. And then in Philadelphia, the tragedy that occurred in Philadelphia, not oil related, but still we have seen that there have been incidents on trains with oil and otherwise in the last couple of years. It's top of mind.
Right, definitely. And that's because when you have an accident like this, it's just devastating. And our city fire department and also CAL FIRE, we're just not equipped to deal with this kind of a hazmat disaster on this level. We don't have the staff, we don't have the training, we don't have the money, and it's not coming from anywhere else.
But is there a way to resolve this issue so all parties can come home and say, we got something out of this? Because, look, in the final analysis, it could be a job creator. I mean, is there an alternate route? Is there some other solution to this question?
Sure. Just increase the pipe capacity. Right now, oil is piped in to this refinery. It's not trucked in by trucks. It doesn't come by train. It is underground pipes. As we just had the pipe leak in Santa Barbara, okay, that it's the same kind. Generally, this kind of oil is conveyed by pipe underground. It's much more safe that way. These people are, in my opinion, they're greedy. They want to process as much oil as quickly as they can, and they at this point are not don't seem to be caring about the hazardous conditions that oil by rail would create.
So let's talk about the Plains oil spill in Santa Barbara County, which was quite dramatic. Still, cleanup goes on today. Does that militate against using the option you describe? I mean, look, in the final analysis, when you move oil, there's always a risk. You know, there's a risk if you move it through oceans, there's a risk if you move it over land, but it's got to be moved some way. So what's the answer? We're not yet oil free. I mean, we still need the product.
Right, well, that's a huge issue that involves climate change and everything else. What we're talking about is safety. And the cars themselves are not built to withstand the kind of load that they're being asked to carry.
And let's
the tracks are not, I mean, around our city, they're very curvy tracks up to the northerly part of the city.
And let's talk about some of the railroad tracks that presumably would be used to transport this oil. What I'm about to show is what's known as the Stenner Creek Trestle. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And this is a track that is used for train traffic today. You know, I'm not an expert. It's very quaint. You know, it sends me back to yesteryear. But is this the track that would be used to take oil across the county?
Right. And it's just north of our city, on the Cal Poly campus.
Oh my!
And at the foot of it is the city's water purification facility for all of our water. That's where all of our water from our 3 dams comes together, and there it is purified and sent out to the rest of the city. So our water supply, if there were a derailment or an explosion or contamination in that site, it would be devastating for the city.
So in the end, you said the authority over this question is with the county.
Right, they have ultimate land use authority in terms of the permit for the construction of these rail spurs that would be necessary to accommodate the increased oil by rail transportation.
So the supervisor for the area is Lynn Compton, a new member.
Yes.
Has she come out in favor or against this project?
I think you'd have to ask her.
But you don't know if there's a public position?
I don't know, and I will say that the EIR has not been finished yet.
Okay.
So the date has not been set for the Planning Commission. No matter which way the Planning Commission goes, I'm pretty sure it will be appealed to the Board of Supervisors.
Right.
And at that time, we'll see how it all plays out.
Where's Santa Barbara County on this?
Well,
it plays into Santa Barbara County.
2 of these 5 supervisors have come out against it. Salud Carbajal and another one.
Doreen Farr, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you got it. Yes.
I don't know how I did it, but I did. Right.
Yes.
Because she represents that northern portion of Santa Barbara County.
Right.
So I want you to come back if you can in the future. Let's continue this conversation.
Sure.
It's a fascinating one that really applies not just to this area, but the entire state of California.
Well, that's it.
Her name is Jen Marx. She is the mayor of the beautiful city of San Luis Obispo, where we are today. I'm Brad Pomerance. It's Charter Local Edition.